Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number, I literally just made the thumbnail, 96? Yeah, 96, yep. We are here for episode number 96, and it is the final episode before our AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door pay-per-view. I am very excited to see how that all plays out. But first, we have to get through Dynamite and Collision, and of course, the final round matches of the World Title Eliminator. Just a quick recap. Will Ospreay needs to win, and he automatically qualifies for Forbidden Door. The same with Pac. So as long as they win their matches tonight, in tonight's episode, they're cushy, they're all through. If they lose, then I believe it's a three-way tie in both groups, and who knows what's going to happen if that happens. But again, if they draw, if the time limit reaches 30 minutes, then they both advance as well. So anyways, we'll just do it play by play, and we'll see what happens after each match and segment. But we are here in the pre-show. We've got Teton taking on Chris Bay, and Chris Bay's had kind of a surge in recent weeks. He's actually been getting some really good ratings, which is annoying because I think we're maybe 8 episodes or so away from the end of this series. So we've got week 1 August, Forbidden Door, and then week 2, 3, 4, week 1 September, 2 September, 3 September, all out. So yeah, we've got 9 episodes, including this one, until the end of the AEW series, or at least when I'm calling it an end. I'll keep this save file, and might make a copy and then play in my own time. I don't know. We'll see. But getting ahead of myself. Let's focus in the now. We've got some big matches tonight on both Dynamite and Collision. Headlining Collision is going to be Demi Bennett and Mia Yim for the AEW Women's World Championship. So that should be a tasty one, we hope. But we're in the pre-show, as we said. Chris Bay gets a lovely win, doing awesome work recently, as he defeats Teton in 13 minutes with the art of finesse. 79 rating overall, Teton with a 77, Chris Bay with a 76. They've got great chemistry, so it just works. But following on from this though, this is a pre-show segment, but it was a segment that was revealed during the week, you know, on X or Instagram or just as a small YouTube video. But Christian Cage discovers what tonight's main event is, and tonight's main event is as per request of Aussie Open. They said that they took Nigel's words on board, and you know, they're going to take matters into their own hands. So tonight's main event on Dynamite is Aussie Open taking on Christian Cage and his one and only client Luchasaurus, and they have said if Christian Cage and Luchasaurus can defeat them, they will sign on as Christian's clients. But if they lose, then Christian can no longer make contact with Aussie Open from now on. Christian is obviously like, what? That's happening tonight? And they're like, yep, and these are the stipulations. Do you agree to them? Christian has a little smirk on his face and he's like, you know what? I'll see them in the ring tonight. And then he goes to find Luchasaurus, you know, to strategically plan something, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's the main event. But first, as we said in the last episode, we are opening both shows with the final round of matches. And kicking off Dynamite is going to be Prince Devitt taking on Will Ospreay. Let's see what happens. Oh, an 87. Not enough selling was shown. But in a bout that had superb wrestling, my favourite word, and good heat, Will Ospreay defeats Prince Devitt in 26 minutes with the Stormbreaker. So you can see the match was part of the Dynamite World Title Eliminator, and it's now finished with Will Ospreay as the winner, which means Chris Jericho confirms it for us on commentary that Ospreay's place at Forbidden Door has been booked in. And just to let you guys know now, the finals of this World Title Eliminator is actually main eventing Forbidden Door, just so you know. So Will Ospreay is in the main event of Forbidden Door, and Hook, who's been ringside for all of these matches, comes to the ring, shakes Ospreay's hand, and just a little sign of respect, just being like, you know what, you stepped up, you've done it, one step closer, maybe I'll see you in the ring soon. And Ospreay kind of just like, takes the handshake and then celebrates with the crowd as he is going to Forbidden Door. Following this though, we've got some tag team action, and it is the Absolute Daddies, Ricky Starks and Volta, taking on, and let's be honest, crushing the Butcher and the Blade, where Volta makes the Butcher tap. In terms of ring work, of course, Volta head and shoulders above everyone else. Ricky Starks is slightly underwhelming, although I think he's like harshly rated in this game. Ricky Starks is a fantastic worker. He just hasn't like hit those heights. But this could be due to popularity, I'm not too sure. But I'm sure teaming with Volta is doing nothing but good things for his pop. But either way, great win here for the Absolute Daddies. 76 rating match. Volta with a 93. Ricky Starks with a 67. The Blade with a 61. And yeah, the Butcher just hanging on by a thread, let's be honest. Got the crowd buzzing though, and Volta shone as he always does. Following on from this though, we've got a pre-recorded video of Nick Jackson, and it's just kind of a little VT just showing his journey, or he's talking about his journey from, being a young buck to the best buck and becoming the single star that we all know and some love at the moment. And it kind of goes through the history of the Young Bucks, the creation of AEW, the Elite, Bullet Club, everything that Nick Jackson's been a part of. And then it kind of culminates at turning on his brother Matt, who we still haven't seen for God knows how long now, since Blood and Guts, I believe it was, is the last time we saw him, which was February. So yeah, coming on to 6 months now. And yeah, he's just talking about how he, became the best buck, and he's used all of that momentum. He may have lost friends, he may have lost family along the way, but nothing is sweeter than success. And at Forbidden Door, he's looking to kind of sign off this chapter with a singles championship. So yeah, nice little VT here, just reminding the journey that Nick Jackson has been on. He gets killer ratings, so I'm expecting nothing but great things from that three-way at Forbidden Door. After this though, we've got some tag team action again, and this time it's Hikaru Shida and Kairi on the same side as they take on the team of Jordynne Grace and Shayna Baszler. And in a pretty decent match, Shida and Kairi defeat Jordynne Grace and Shayna Baszler in 14 minutes when Shida makes Baszler not tap, where she pins her with a Falcon Arrow. This was definitely a match of kind of one-upsmanship between Shida and Kairi. You can see very close in their ratings, just trying to show the other like what's to expect on the weekend, because they are both still champions, so they are going into the weekend as opponents. And yet an 82 rated match, that's pretty awesome. Our women's division has like shot up in recent months. I'm so happy because it was struggling to begin with. But yeah, decent work from these two ladies. They're just here to kind of job out. Not really got any plans for them, so hey ho. Got the crowd buzzing though. That's 2 buzzing matches, I believe, so not bad, After this though, the 2 winning team members are now face to face as Shida raises her belt in the air and the crowd cheer, and then Kairi raises hers too and the crowd cheer. It seems like the crowd's kind of split on who they actually want to win this match, because it is a winner takes all, and they shake hands to just kind of show that sign of respect. And this is the final segment that takes them into their match, so I'm very excited to see who comes out on top between Shida and Kairi. There's a lot of matches at Forbidden Door where I personally have no clue where they're going to go, so I'm tempted to leave it up to fate for a couple of them. I've done that quite a few times in this series, and it's always kind of paid off, I guess. But after this one though, we are we're staying in the ring actually, so we've gone to commercial break, we've come back, and CM Punk has requested some time in the ring, because of course with Will Ospreay winning, it means that CM Punk is not going to Forbidden Door in that match. So CM Punk has just requested some time in ring just to acknowledge that and some other things. So yeah, he's in the ring here. He says he admits defeat. He says Will Ospreay was the better man on the nights, so there's not much I can do about that. So that it seems like for now my world title chase is over, and Bullet Club Gold will remain goldless for the time being. But instead, I feel like fate has gifted me this opportunity to find a new purpose, and that purpose is that I will be the one who accepts Kazuchika Okada's Open Challenge, making it Punk Okada 2, and this time I'm not losing. So Okada, there's no need for you to be surprised or waiting in the ring for your opponent. You've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days to prepare for the best in the world one more time. So I'll see you then, and I'll be beating you. So the challenge has been accepted. Kazuchika Okada was going into Forbidden Door not knowing his opponent, but CM Punk has taken it upon himself to verbally accept the challenge, and it's official. The graphics popping up. It is CM Punk and Kazuchika Okada 2, the rematch of last year's Forbidden Door, where Okada did come out on top, if I'm remembering correctly. I think that's what happened, so I'm going to pretend like that's what happened. But yeah, huge. So that means that the card is all but finalised with one more entrant, and that is one of the 3 men in the Collision tournament. So we will have the final card by the end of this episode. After this, though, we've got a fun little segment that was pre-recorded, so we're all watching it on the screen. It's the Best Broskis. They've signed up for New Japan World. They've, bought a few DVDs, and they're kind of just binging Shibata and Goto matches, and MJF's face is just a picture of horror, with the heavy strikes and the heavy kicks and, the dangerous submissions and moves that Shibata and Goto, turn to in their matches, and the real, stiff wrestling that you find in Japan. And, both of them are kind of in shock and kind of a little bit not scared, but they're a little bit like, oh man, we fucked up. So MJF says, don't worry, I've got an idea. We can wear protective gear. And Matt Cardona's like, we can wear protective gear. And Steph Delander's like rolling her eyes, and Matt Cardona pulls out his phone, jumps on Amazon and just starts buying like chest pads and, cricket gear and, the kind of things that you wear when, you're practicing karate. They've got those big padded vests. And he's like, we can just wear this. It's going to be fine. That way, when they hit us, it's not going to hurt. And Matt Cardona's like, you're a genius, Max. You're a fucking genius. So it looks like the Best Broskis will be turning up at Forbidden Door in protective gear, based on, the action that they've seen Shibata and Goto get into. So, I mean, what's going to happen in that match? Who bloody knows? But it's happening. So, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. But we are now at our main event of tonight. It is Aussie Open taking on Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. If Aussie Open win, they're free. Well, they're not free because they were free anyway, but Christian is to no longer bother them and chase them. So let's find out what happens in this main event tag team match. 78. Oh, Carl Fletcher's got injured. That's not good. In a bout that had good wrestling though and a decent reaction from the crowd, it is Aussie Open that do manage to pull through and get the win. They defeat Christian and Luchasaurus when Mark Davis pins Christian Cage with an airplane spin. I mean, that's clearly not the only move he uses, but let's just say it's one of them. Carl Fletcher sustained a bruised eye socket. Ouch. Davis with an 89, Fletcher with an 83, Christian with a 64, and Luchasaurus with a 62. But this does mean that Aussie Open are free of Christian Cage. He is to no longer bother them for the foreseeable future, I guess. So Christian's clients still remain as just Luchasaurus. And hopefully Carl Fletcher's injury isn't too bad. I'll update you on that when we get to Collision. But yeah, that's how we end the show. So let's see how we did the go-home show for who got heat? No one. That's good. 84. That's fine. That's decent. I'll take it. But yeah, we had a lot of segments here just kind of building up the momentum of a few matches. Nick Jackson, Shida and Kyrie, Punk accepting Okada's Open Challenge. So that match has been slotted in. and Ospreay, cementing his place in the main event of Forbidden Door. Who will join him? We're about to find out. So I'm going to get booking Collision, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, and we are here for Collision, the final show before Forbidden Door. Let's get into it. Just the one pre-show match, and it is Darby Allin and Dralistico. This is a rematch of sorts, because I believe, I might be wrong, in a pre-show a few weeks ago we had Andrade and Dralistico defeat Darby Allin and Nick Wayne. It might have not been Dralistico at all, but either way, Darby Allin gets his revenge by defeating Dralistico in 9 minutes with the coffin drop. Darby Allin with an 86. Man has been pulling it out of the bag recently, and I don't know, I mean, everyone's just suddenly been up in their game recently, and I'm loving it. But that is the final and only pre-show match, so we're diving straight into our opening match, which again is the final round bout of the world title eliminator. It's Adam Cole, baby. It's Pac, baby. Let's see what happens. An 85. Oh, and about that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. It is Pac that gets the win in 28 minutes, very close to the 30-minute time limit. He makes Adam Cole tap with the brutalizer, meaning that Pac finishes his tournament bracket as the winner, and that means it will be Will Ospreay versus Pac in the main event of Forbidden Door, and the winner will receive a world title match against Hook before AEW All Out. Very exciting. And post-match, Hook enters the ring just like he did against Will Ospreay. Offers a hand to Pac, and Pac just ignores it, grabs the mic and just maniacally laughs in Hook's face, just like ha 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 ha. And Pac is over celebrating and claiming that the title is already his. He's not even looking at Ospreay, he's looking ahead to Hook and saying that that belt is mine. So I mean, I'm not going to disagree with Pac. I don't think you guys are either. But yeah, great segment here, and what could be potentially a world title match in the future. But Will Ospreay would say otherwise, wouldn't he? Following this, though, we've got some singles action, and Alex Abrahantes has been looking for someone to, fight for his honor. And we found someone called Sanson, who decides to step up against Hangman Page, and in 6 minutes, Hangman Page defeats Sanson with the buckshot lariat. Hangman Adam Page with a 93, Sanson with a 50. And yeah, Hangman Page looked excellent out there, mainly because he was booked to dominate. And yeah, trying to rip the mask off of Sanson post-match, but, inevitably gives up and just leaves him there, a kind of unconscious mess in the ring, as he's just building that heat. I don't know if he's targeting like luchadors on purpose, but maybe just anything that reminds him of Bandido. I'm not too sure, but either way, great performance from Hangman Page. Not a great match because it's a Ring of Honor talent who, although has great in-ring skills, terrible popularity in the US. So hey ho. After this though, Rebecca Knox says that she is open to a Toni Storm match down the line. However, she wants to see how much Toni Storm wants a shot at her title. So Rebecca Knox has spoken to Nigel and TK, and they've got a match lined up for Toni Storm to see if she can earn an opportunity against Rebecca Knox. And of course, Toni Storm is out there like a whippet, ready for her match, as it is the former Women's International Champion Maki Ito who steps up to face Toni Storm. And in a decent match, it is Toni Storm that comes out on top with a strong 0 in just under 14 minutes. Toni Storm wants that belt, and as we've seen before, nothing is seemingly going to get in her way before she gets that opportunity. A nice 75 rated match, I'll take it. Following on from this though, we've got a trios match with House of Black and just more Ring of Honor talent. I brought Sanson up and I was like, let's bring 3 other random guys. Trey Miguel and Cedric Alexander have been begging to be brought up to the main roster for some time. So I brought them up, and then I just kind of looked for someone who's got really good basics. And Denzel Dejournette, whoever he is, has got really good basics. So let's see what they do as a trio. 75 again, nice. And About That had decent wrestling, but not much heat. House of Black get the win. They defeat Denzel Dejournette, Cedric Alexander, and Trey Miguel in 11 minutes when Brody King pins Denzel with a Gonzo bomb. Ilya Dragunov head and shoulders above everyone else, and Denzel was the weakling. What did Denzel get? A 32. Oh. Dragunov, though, 83. My goodness. Love that. Well, how did everyone else do? Cedric, 62. Trey Miguel, 69. Pretty good. Yeah, can't complain. Just a nice win for House of Black, just to remind us all that they are still a thing. They're just not really doing much with their time. Following on from this, we've got another match. Yeah, match heavy tonight. It is two members of the Combat Club taking on the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed claimed that the only reason they lost last week was because of High Five, and they said 2-on-2, you guys can't beat us. So we've got Zack Sabre Jr. and Wheeler Yuta stepping up to challenge them the night before their clash with Just Five Guys. And in a match that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, of course it is the Combat Club who come out on top. Zack Sabre Jr. making Anthony Bowens tap with the Article 50. ZSJ with an 88. Wheeler stepping up with a 77. And then Castor and Bowens in the 60s. Great chemistry, but not great in-ring performance. An 82 overall. And post-match, the rest of the TCC are in the ring, and they kind of just add insult to injury and just lay out the Acclaimed one more time. And Mox uses this as a message, a warning, you could say, to Just Five Guys and to Brock Lesnar, because he is still laser focused on getting his hands on that man. But of course, tomorrow night he has Just Five Guys, led by El Desperado, to take on instead. Following on from this, just to kind of break up all the action, we've got a video package, and it's just recapping all the events of Keith Lee and Kenny Omega leading up to their match at Forbidden Door, which again will open the show. It goes all the way back to the beginning of the All In Grand Prix, where Keith Lee said that he's going to win the whole thing, and he kicked it off massively with a huge win over Kenny Omega, which I think shocked a lot of people. Kenny, one of the favourites going into the tournament. Of course, Kenny did end up winning it, as his one and only loss was against Keith Lee, but his celebration was short-lived when Keith Lee attacked him at the Grand Prix final, claiming that he shouldn't be in the main event if he can't beat everyone. So Keith Lee has essentially been terrorising Kenny Omega, who at the time was World Tag Team Champion with Kota Ibushi, and because of Keith Lee's interference, they lost their belts to Hangman Adam Page and Bandido. What followed from that was a few attacks, a lot of warnings from Kenny Omega to stay away from Keith Lee's matches, because Darby Allin wanted a fair and square match, which he kind of got squashed in. Kota Ibushi then standing up for his boy Kenny, and again being decimated by Keith Lee. And it's just kind of been a war of words since then, and a lot of stare downs, and yeah, a lot of stuff has happened. I think I've recapped pretty much everything, but this all culminates to Keith Lee, Kenny Omega at Forbidden Door. The winner goes to the main event of AEW All Out in 8 weeks time. So big match. And of course Keith Lee is still the international champion, just so you guys know. Still got that belt, and doesn't look like he'll be dropping it anytime soon. But that is everything on the show except our main event, which Demi Bennett personally requested. She was impressed with Mia Yim's performance in the Battle Royale weeks ago, and she agrees if it wasn't for the teamwork of Jamie Hayter and and Britt Baker, then Mia Yim probably would have won the Battle Royale. So Demi Bennett says, I'm a fighting champion, credit where credit's due, give Mia Yim a match, which she has, and this is our main event, our final match ahead of Forbidden Door. So let's just dive straight in and see what happens. An 82, I will take that. And About That had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Demi Bennett gets the win in 16.5 minutes with the Riptide, making defense number 9. of her AEW Women's World title. And Demi Bennett still the Women's Champion. Can anyone beat her? Jamie Hayter has her place booked at All Out, but, we'll have to wait and see if anyone steps up in between or if it is Hayter that can dethrone Demi Bennett. But Demi Bennett with a 93. What? That's insane. Mia Yim with a 59. Bennett and Yim have good chemistry, which is great. And of course, Demi Bennett looks good out there. She looks good wherever. But that is how we end this show with an AC4, which I believe was what Dynamite had as well. So that's strange. But yeah, that is the final of, the final part of this episode. I'm just going to quickly flag up the picture now of the brackets, just so you can see what happened. So Ospreay went 100%, Pac 100%, Roosh 50%, Punk 50%, and then both Devitt and Cole were unable to secure a single win in the world title Eliminator. So that does mean that Ospreay and Pac face each other in the main event of Forbidden Door. And while I've got you guys here, let's run through that card again, just so you know who will be on there. And this, I think, will be the running order as far as I'm aware now, or this is how I kind of want it to go. So we will kick off with Kenny Omega and Keith Lee. Following on from that, we will have the 5-on-5 match. It will be the Combat Club and Shota Umino taking on Just 5 Guys, which, off the top of my head, I believe is El Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Tasuka Michinoku, Dookie, and Taichi. Following on from that will be the three-way for the World Light Heavyweight Championship. Bryan Danielson looking to defend against Nick Jackson and New Japan's Kushida. After that is a tag team match. There's no titles on the line. It's just an exhibition match between the AEW World Tag Team Champions Best Broskis and the IWGP World Champions Katsuyori Shibata and Hiroki Goto. After that, it's the best in the world, CM Punk taking on Kazuchika Okada in a rematch of last year's Forbidden Door bout. The kind of, I don't want to say co-main event because it's not, but let's call it a co-main event because I think it's deserving based on their performances. It will be a title versus title match. The Stardom World Champion, Kairi, is looking to take on Hikaru Shida, in which was originally Shida putting her title on the line, but Kairi has upped the stakes and put her title on the line too. And then, of course, our final, it's the men you can see on the screen now, Will Ospreay and Pac in the World Title Eliminator Finals. And the winner will get a World Heavyweight Championship match before All Out against our current World Champion, Hook. That is everything to expect in the next episode. I'm very excited to book it. I always find the Forbidden Door ones fun because I get to loan a bunch of people that I typically can't use because New Japan have pretty much got all of their talent on a chokehold where they won't let me sign them as well. I have stolen a few, for example, Zack Sabre Jr. probably being the biggest name that I have stolen from them, with a whole host more that I wanted to, but like Gabe Kidd is one of my favourite guys, but he's just been under contract for years and, is not coming down anytime soon. So maybe another series will get Gabe Kidd. But yeah, that is the end of this one. I'm looking forward to Forbidden Door. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you all in the next one.